It's June the 7th, Picks edition of the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. You can win up to 325 times your entry with their new Pick 8. Sign up with our code MLB SGPN to claim your special pick and first-time deposit up to $250 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code MLB SGPN. And we're brought to you by Rhythm. Get the best data-driven props and picks from Rhythm. Claim your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford, coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. Today is Thursday, the 6th of June, and we are here to have a look over a 14-game card for Friday, June the 7th. Joining me, eating prison dinner, is Mr. Dylan Rockford. Dylan, why are you on the dry bread? What's wrong with you?
Oh, I'm in shambles right now. Got out of work late, was busy all day, really didn't have time to eat, had to handicap some games. So, yeah, the grind never stops, boys. But, yeah, just had a piece of bread, man. It felt like, I don't know if it's actually prison food. I've never been to prison, but that's what people tell me, so.
No, I haven't been to prison either. It's quite remarkable somehow, but I've avoided it. Yeah. I tell you what, though, what a great day for your country, Dylan. The
Biggest
United
upset.
States.
Let's go.
Sorry?
Biggest upset.
Biggest upset in one of the biggest upsets in cricket history. The USA beat Pakistan in the T20 World Cup earlier on. I messaged Munaf. We went to a super over. It's very, very rare in cricket that you get a tie, especially because sort of a team scoring 227 runs. So for both teams to score 227 runs is quite remarkable. I don't know what the score was, actually. Someone alerted me to the fact it had gone to a super over, where both teams get 6 balls each to score as many runs as they can. And the USA beat them. We just finished recording the Premier League show. Barry said it was a scam. He said that they've rigged it to grow interest in the competition in the USA. Cynical, isn't it, Dylan? Cynical.
Yeah, that's awful. That's awful. I gotta buy some USA merch for the cricket now. I mean, are we back? Like, is it coming back home now? Like, what is it?
Cricket's coming home.
Yeah.
USA was 7-1 to win that game. So, I mean, it wasn't a giant shock. But T20 is such a volatile game that 7-1's probably about as big a price as you see. Munaf, obviously, a lot of Munaf's dad, particularly, is a big Pakistan cricket fan. So Munaf was giving his dad some stick, and he says he's going to buy some merch for his little boy just to wind his dad up even further. So yes, congratulations to the USA. When I get out of bed in about 11 hours' time, Dylan, I will be on the road to London to watch your New York Mets. I've got a feeling Pete Alonso's going yard this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm going to fill in Pete Alonso. I'm going to catch his home run ball as well as cash my bets. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Are your seats good?
Yes, I am pretty much dead centre field.
Oh yeah.
Like straight away centre. So and not very far back, probably 10 or 12 rows back. Straight away centre. So yeah, I got a chance if someone can connect one. Speak of the devil, Munaf's joined the chat, giving us a little bit of USA. Munaf's so happy. Well, he's even trying to give us some technical talk now. A bit too much for me, that Munaf. And in actual baseball, last night, Dylan, Paul Skenes against Shohei Ohtani was just one of those fun things. It was a great matchup. It was appointment viewing, and Skenes struck him out on 3 pitches in the top of the first. And then in the top of the third, Ohtani hit him for a home run back over his head. So, I mean, one great player, one potentially great player. But that was brilliant to watch. A little bit of fun.
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, the guy's He's must-see television right now, Polsky's. Anytime he's on the mound, and they were favored against the Dodgers. Very surprising. I know they were home, but big win for the Pirates yesterday, man. The kid is must-see TV. Are you worried, like, he throws a little too hard sometimes, kind of like we ran into, like, a Steven Strasburg issue back in the day?
He's undoubtedly going to... Do you mean, like, just an injury worry, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
It's absolutely unavoidable. And I think he probably knows that. I think all pitchers know that. I mean, every time Syndergaard got injured, he'd come back and say, I'm still going to try and throw 114. Like, Syndergaard just wouldn't learn a lesson. Like, he just... And I'm not saying everyone else should go full Kyle Hendricks, but equally, it's going to happen. But enjoy him while he can, because, yeah, he will miss. And if people can adjust, you end up doing things like Chris Sale are doing at the moment, who are adjusting and having longer careers. And obviously Verlander is still going, people like that. But yeah, it's unavoidable. But in the meantime, watch him and enjoy him. That game last night, I think myself and Scott both picked the Dodgers at even money because we thought you had to pick the Dodgers at even money against the Pirates.
Yeah.
But everyone in the chat, Trev and the lads the other night, everyone was saying that it was absolutely a trap, that everyone would be on the Dodgers. And sure enough, the Pittsburgh Pirates went and won that game. So
it was a trap. I was on the Dodgers as well. And I when are we ever going to get the Dodgers at plus 10? I got it at plus 105 early in the day. And against the rookie, I know how good he is, but against a rookie, I just had to take it. But it was a trap.
Yeah, it was. And I absolutely fell arse over tit straight into it. Been a couple of bits of baseball going on today. Blue Jays won another one against Baltimore. Tried to give it up. They gave up 4 runs in the last 2 innings. And then the Kansas City Royals pinched a game at Cleveland as well. And what else is happening? Seattle lead Oakland by 2-0. We've got 14 games on tomorrow's card. Obviously, the 15th game would be the Phillies Mets, but they are travelling over to England. So we've got 14 games, no baseball. And we will start with a 6:40 Eastern first pitch between the Minnesota Twins and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Majority of these games are on the board. I think we've got 12 on the board, something like that. First up here, we have Joe Ryan for the Twins taking on Mitch Keller of the Pirates. Minus 126 Minnesota, plus 108 Pittsburgh. The total is at 7.5. Joe Ryan, 4-4, 3.38 ERA. Was poor last time at Houston and 4 starts ago against the Yankees. But apart from that, he's kind of pitching okay. He's got a 2.48 road ERA. Keller is pitching really well. He's got a 1.34 ERA in his last 5 starts, Keller. The Pirates have won all 5 of those. And the Pirates have put together a couple of wins at home as well. Settled into this home stand with a series against the Dodgers. And I think they'll be relatively comfortable here. And they've got a chance behind Keller. I'm going to give Pittsburgh a sweep at plus money here. Plus 108 for the Pirates, Dylan.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Like we talked about earlier, what a win yesterday for the Buccos. And I like him again here for Friday. I made him a minus 120 favorite with Keller on the mound. I don't know if people have been paying attention, but Mitch Keller has been dealing lately. He hasn't allowed more than 2 runs in 5 straight games. Pirates have won his last 5 starts, like you mentioned. So I would even look towards an out prop for Mitch Keller as well. He's been able to go 6+ innings in those 5 straight games as well. So something's clicked for him. I'm going to continue to back him here. I do not want to be fading Mitch Keller right now. So plus 108, I think there's some value here with the home team. I'm going to take the Pirates as well.
Team ride on the Pirates first up. Next is one of these couple of off the board games, which is, in fact, the next 2 games. The 2 that's off the board. So we'll whiz through these as quick as you can, and then we can make some real picks. The Brewers at the Tigers. It's the Brewers who are TBD, although I think it's Robert Gasser. I've seen him listed most of the day in various places. Taking on Reese Olson of the Tigers. No lines here. My lean, if it was Gasser v. Olson, was the Tigers. 2 good pitching records going up against each other. The Brewers have won all 5 of Gasser's starts. But the red flag is 4 of the 5 have been at home. His 1 road start was a shocker. 10 hits, 4 earned runs at Miami. Olsen's been fine. Detroit just won a series in Texas. And I do trust Olsen ever so slightly over that Gasser road record. So I would take Detroit, but obviously no prices as yet, Dylan.
Yeah, I think it might be Tobias Myers for the Brewers,
Okay.
but that's what ESPN says. I kind of go by them. They're the most accurate in my opinion. But to be honest, I'm not really in the business of backing Tobias Myers either. Not a fan of his. He doesn't give the Brewers good length. He gives up the long ball. Walks are an issue for him. And on the other hand, Reese Olson, he didn't have the best start in his last outing, but he was fantastic in the month of May. The Tigers just couldn't give him any run support. Batters are only hitting 164 off of him at home this season. Brewers not hitting the ball at all that well coming into this series. They just scored 2 runs in that 3-game series versus the Phillies. They got swept. I think the bats continue to struggle here against Olson. I'm going to take a look at the Brewers team total, maybe take an under. If we get anything under a 4, I think is a good bet. Olson hasn't allowed more than 1 run at home this whole season. So anything under a 4, 3.5, I'll probably look towards a team total under for the Brew Crew here.
A couple of sports rolling in the playoffs at the moment. The NBA Finals tip off this week. Network are giving away $100 cash and a $100 gift card to the listener who wins the NBA Finals prop contest. Head to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/NBA Finals to enter that. And not to be outdone, the Hockey Gambling Podcast guys are running a Stanley Cup contest with $100 cash and a $100 gift card to sportsgamblingpodcast.com Stanley Cup to enter that one. Third up off the board, I don't know why. I had pictures all day for this. Oh no, yeah, it's Baltimore Orioles at Tampa Bay Rays. Baltimore, it's officially TBD, but I think it's going to be Jake Irvin for Baltimore, and Aaron Savale goes for the Rays. Marlene was Baltimore just because Savale has been so poor, and I don't mind Irvin. Irvin's been relatively good recently. 282 in his last 5. It's 338 on the road is fine. And he usually gets enough run support off the Baltimore offense as well. Savale's last 2 have been better, but the Rays have lost 7 of his last 8 starts. So it doesn't really matter who goes for Baltimore. Tampa Bay are under 500 at home. Baltimore just the better team. They'll probably be short price favourites. So not much more on that one to.
Yeah, the Rays, they've looked like they've kind of turned things around. They've won 3 in a row. Orioles have lost 2 in a row. Now it's a travel situation for them as well. And my numbers, they did make the Rays a short favorite, -105, but the eye test, I'm just having a hard time trusting and backing Aaron Savale. Like you said, the Rays, they've lost his last 5 starts, and one of them was against this Orioles team. So, I think losing 2 in a row to a Blue Jay team, I think is going to spark something with this Oriole team. They got to start playing better. And it all starts with Cole Irvin. You mentioned it. They give him a lot of run support. And I think this is a good game for him and the Orioles to bounce back. So depending on the price, I'll probably be on the Orioles as well.
I think I might have said Jake Irvin there, but it is Cole Irvin.
Yeah, you did say Jake, but it's all good.
Well, I'll tell you why Jake Irvin was on my mind. Because 6:45 Eastern first pitch is the Atlanta Braves at the Washington Nationals. Left-handed pitcher Chris Sale for the Braves, and Jake Irvin will go for the Washington Nationals. Too many Irvins. -225 for Atlanta, +188 for Washington. Total of 8.5, Dylan.
Yeah, the Nationals just got swept by the Mets. Who would have thought?
Who
Who would have thought? But hey, better for you because the Mets are actually playing okay or better, I guess, going into that London series. So hopefully you'll see a treat. But the Nationals, they're just awful at home. Jake Irving, 0-4 at home this season with a 4.91 ERA. Batters are hitting almost 300 off of him. The Nationals, they lost every start he's made at home this season. And on the other side with Chris Sale, he finally had a bad game his last start against the A's of all teams. So I don't expect another bad performance out of Sale. I think we could see a bounce back here from him. And this whole Braves team, they just got shut out Wednesday afternoon by the Red Sox 9-0. I got to imagine they're going to come into this series very aggressive, swinging the bat a lot. So I got to take the Braves here. I know it's chalky, but I'll probably take them on the run line. Maybe a team total over for the Braves. If we could get a 4.5, probably take the over there.
Yeah, Atlanta run line was my pick. Not very big or clever, Dylan. Sale did get smashed up by Oakland last time, but I assume he can rebound in this situation. Irvin's actually been decent recently, but the Nats are in a bit of a funk. They're 10-16 at home. They're not scoring runs. They have been swept by the Mets. But so even if this is a low-scoring game, Atlanta should still be 2 runs better. See them winning this something like 4-1, 5-1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so an Atlanta run line for me. NBA playoffs, we just mentioned, and Underdog Fantasy have launched Pick 8. That's live now for the NBA Finals. You can create your entries with up to 8 picks. An Underdog will automatically double flex entries, so you can miss up to 2 picks in your side. With more picks to make and extra ways to win, the excitement is higher than ever. And the best part is you can win up to 325 times your original amount. Sign up with our code MLB SGPN to claim your special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code MLB SGPN. 7:10 Eastern first pitch is the Chicago Cubs at the Cincinnati Reds. We have 2 lefties going here. It is Justin Steele for the Cubs and Nick Lodolo goes for Cincinnati. It's a match on the books, -110 each of 2, with a total of 8.5. Dylan, lead us off with this one.
Yeah, I like the Reds here on the money line -110. I actually made him a -140 favorite here with Nick Lodolo. They kind of turned some things around here. The Cincinnati Reds in the month of June, they've won 4 in a row, 7-3 in their last 10. They're the only last place team in the league with a positive run differential. So I think that just says a lot. I think they're better than what their numbers have been showing us or what they've just been showing us on the field. I don't trust the Cubs at all right now. They're struggling to hit the ball. They're struggling in general on the road. And, friend of the show, Justin Steele, he just hasn't been himself right now. He's only had 1 solid start, and it was against this Reds team, his last outing. But, even when he does have a good outing, the Cubs just can't give him any run support. I don't trust this lineup right now. They've been beaten up on bad teams. I think the Reds are going to get to Steele, hitter-friendly ballpark. We got the winds helping us out. We got winds blowing out tomorrow, 10 miles an hour towards center field. So I think the Reds continue to roll here. Big comeback win yesterday in Coors Field. Not Coors Field, against the Rockies, excuse me. But, yeah, I think the Reds are the right side here. I'll take them. I think they should be a bigger favorite.
Yeah, I think it was in Coors yesterday. I backed Colorado and counted myself.
They should have won.
Yes, they should have won. But you're right, the Reds have figured just little bits and bobs, sort of signs that things are going in a better direction. For Cincinnati, Ellie had his first right-handed homer, I think. TJ Friedel's been quite important because he's been on the injured list and was batting something like 0.91 before he got injured. He's come back and has just started hitting and seems to have sparked Jake Fraley, seems to have sparked Spencer Steer. So they're doing bits and bobs now. Steele's last 2 have been much better. Did give up 1 earned run just on 5 innings against the Reds last time. In the same series, Lodolo went 6 innings and gave up 2. And Cincinnati won the game 5-2. Very similar comp game, this one, to me. I would lean Cincinnati, but I do like the under at 8.5. Say Steele going a little bit better, and Lodolo's going well as well. So under 8.5 and Cincinnati will be my plays in that one. Next up is a big old series. The 2 behemoths of MLB going against each other at 7:05 Eastern. The LA Dodgers at the New York Yankees. We have Yoshinobu Yamamoto for the Dodgers, and for the Yankees it will be Cody Poteet. This is a match on the books as well, -110 each of 2, with a total of 9. Yamamoto 6-2, 3.32 ERA. He's been showing a few issues, looked a little bit vulnerable after that stellar start, but did beat Colorado last time out. And I think he's built up enough credit in the bank for me to trust him here. However, the Yankees are a bit of a different story with the bats at the moment. Cody Poteet, we liked him last week. He's pitched 11 innings across his 2 starts, and he's been fine. Only given up 9 hits and 3 earned runs. They were both on the road. This is his first start at Yankee Stadium for the season. My handicap here was that I prefer both lineups over both starting pitchers. The total is actually higher than I expected it to be. I thought maybe the presence of Yamomoto might bring it down half a run. But I'm going to stick with the over 9, Dylan.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get in front of this train right now. That's the New York Yankees. They're the best team in baseball. Me and Munaf were talking about it yesterday. I mean, whoever you want to give the MVP to, Aaron Judge or Juan Soto, really doesn't matter at this point. They're on fire, 7 wins in a row. And Dodgers, they haven't really been playing the best baseball. And I agree. Cody Poteet, he's been solid in his first 2 starts. Both being on the road, this is his first start at the Bronx. And, you know, I think they'll be able to give Cody Poteet some run support. The Yankees smash against righties. They're averaging 6.5 runs per game this past week. I would even look towards a Yankees team total around 3.5, 4, maybe even a 4.5. I think they smash the ball tomorrow in a very hitter-friendly ballpark. I kind of like to fade Yamomoto on the road. Was profitable early on in the season, kind of figured some things out. I agree on the total. I made my total 9.4. So I do like the over. I thought we were going to get an 8.5, but it wound up being a 9. So I agree on the total, but I just can't get in front of this Yankee train right now. So I'll probably take the Yankees on the money line or Yankees team total.
7:10 Eastern, the Cleveland Guardians are at the Miami Marlins. 2 left-handed pitchers again in this one. We have Logan Allen going for Cleveland, and the best pitcher in baseball, Ryan Weathers, goes for Miami. -120 the Guardians, +102 for the Marlins. Total set at 7.5. This was quite tricky to handicap, Dylan, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I only made the Guardians a -115 favorite here on the road. Good record for Logan Allen, but his numbers aren't the best at all. He's given up 5+ hits in every start he's made, a lot of hard contact, gives up the long ball. Walks are an issue as well. You know, if the Guardians weren't good offensively, Logan Allen wouldn't have the record he does. So it's kind of an anomaly. I don't really like Logan Allen, if I'm being honest. And I know the Marlins aren't good at home, but Ryan Weathers, man, he's been solid the month of May. And if he's on, he can give the fish good length. I think they could be live here as well. As long as we're getting a +115 or better, maybe it's a wait and see. But I think the home puppy here is live. I know a lot of people don't like the Miami Marlins, but against Logan Allen, I think they could touch him up a little bit. So maybe first 5 +0.5. But I do think the fish are live here.
I can't back the Marlins anymore. They've totally stopped winning again. And this does look like a slump that might be set in for quite a long time. I'm not really sure. What's the name of was it the GM or the AGM on TikTok the other day?
Oh, the general manager. He is the worst.
What was all that about?
That's why they're losing, because he's more worried about his wardrobe.
I mean, it's one thing being a good-looking man, Dylan, something me and you have to deal with on a daily basis, and he is a very good-looking man. But there's no need for any of that shit when your team, by the way, is absolutely dog shit. If you are top, you know what I mean? If you're 62-12, by all means, strut about in your fancy suit, pop your collar. You know what I mean? Get your nice cufflinks out. But when your team's dog shit, stay off TikTok would be my advice.
Who's he doing that for? Does he have like a family? Like, I didn't get it.
Exactly. Who's he trying to impress? Fucking idiot. Funny. Weathers has been great. 218 in his last 5. But like I say, Miami have stopped winning. So I'm going to take an under here, under 7.5. Because I think Weathers will go well. And I can't see Miami hitting anyone, even though Logan Allen is difficult to trust. So yeah, a low scoring game, this one, under 7.5. Next up is the San Francisco Giants at the Texas Rangers, which is at 8:05 Eastern. First pitch. I need the Rangers to win this series to keep me alive in Survivor. Logan Webb goes for the Giants. Michael Lorenzen goes for Texas. -124 the Giants. +106 the Rangers. Another 7.5 as well here. I can't take the Giants with Webb on the road at -124. I don't think the Giants are a better team than Texas. And road Webb is a concern. He's got a 4.34 ERA on the road. But the Giants are 1-6 in his road starts. Michael Lorenzen has strung together 4 good starts now. You get really good length. He's pitched 25 and 2/3 in those 4 starts, giving up 3 earned runs. He still walks too many, and the Texas offense isn't helping him even a little bit. But I think Texas can pinch this one. They're the wrong side's favourite for me. I'll take Texas at plus 106.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Another home puppy for me, Mal. I actually made the Rangers a minus 120 favorite here at home. Logan Webb, we've talked about, I think this is like a running conversation we've had on the pod for about 3 years now. Logan Webb is just night and day a different pitcher on the road than he is at home. At home, one of the best pitchers in the league, but on the road, just not really someone we want to back. I know Lorenzen, he hasn't been able to get all the wins, but I don't think he's been pitching all that bad. The Rangers, they just haven't been able to give him the run support he's needed, but he has been pitching better. They've been scoring some runs, so that bats have kind of woken up a little bit here for the Rangers. Giants not playing good baseball. They've lost 4 of the last 5 games coming into this game. Not a team I want to back right now, and I agree. I think the wrong team is favored. So, yeah, another home puppy for me, plus 106 for the Rangers.
Okay, I love it when you agree with me, Dylan. It makes me feel like a real boy. Rhythm, RITHMM, is the place to be. If you're betting on NBA player props, you need to download that Rhythm app. Gives you a menu with the best player props for every single NBA playoff game, making it easy to go through and find the best props to put your money on in seconds. Rhythm's predictions are backed by over 3 years of data and a team of data scientists that focus on fine-tuning your algorithm to give you the best shot at winning. Rhythm pairs its predictions with player prop graphs. So if you're making bets or playing DFS, you can do that full of confidence. Rhythm finds the best player props, all backed by AI data, without you having to endlessly scroll through the lists. Claim your 7-day free trial by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. 8:10 Eastern first pitch, the Seattle Mariners at the Kansas City Royals. We have Bryce Miller for Seattle, and we have Daniel Lynch, the 4th left-handed pitcher, goes for the Royals. Daniel Lynch added the 4th this season. I don't think that was a thing before this year. I think he was just plain old Daniel Lynch, but he is now Daniel Lynch, the 4th. They are plus 118, Kansas City Royals, minus 138, the Mariners. Totals 9.5, Dylan.
Yeah, give me another home puppy. Royals plus 118 or the under 9.5. Total seems extremely high for a Mariners game. I made the Royals a minus 105 favorite. Made my total 8.2. I do worry about Bryce Miller because the Royals absolutely crushed the ball at home, which is one of the reasons I do like the Royals. I know they haven't been playing the best baseball, but I think they should be the favorite here. Coming home, big win today against the Guardians, 22-10 straight up at home this season. One of the best teams in baseball at home. While the Mariners, they're really good. They've been playing good baseball. I think like 8-2. Maybe if they win this game, 9-1 their last 10. But they don't play the best on the road. They've been beating up on some bad teams. I think this is a good situation to fade the Mariners here. So Royals are not a team I really want to fade on the road, at home, excuse me. So plus 118, I love the price.
Yeah, I understand why Seattle are favourite. They've been playing much better, basically. They're in much better form. Kansas City have had a little slump. But that's kind of changed tonight. They've got a win tonight. Just looking at the 2 games, though, I can't believe this total's 9.5.
It's
Seattle are an
ridiculous.
unders team. We know this all the time. They're in the bottom of the 7th as we speak in a 2-0 game. 5
Yeah.
hits in the entire game. Seattle have had 3, Oakland have had 2. And Kansas City have also played today, and they won 4-3. And that's it. There you go. There's your comps. We'll just do that again tomorrow. Someone will win 4-3. I don't need to work out who, because I can take the under 9.5. So yeah, easy. They've made it easy for us, Dylan. Next up is an 8:10 Eastern first pitch. All the different coloured socks on show. Yeah, it's the Boston Red Sox against the Chicago White Sox. This is a match, minus 110 each of 2. Total is set at 7.5. It is Cooper Criswell for Boston, left-handed pitcher Garrett Crochet going for the White Sox. Minus 110 each of 2. You've got a team here in the Chicago White Sox that have lost 13 games in a row, and you want me to pick them against any other Major League Baseball team at -110. I don't care who's pitching. You can only back Boston. If you don't back Boston here, you shouldn't be allowed money.
No, that's it. Okay, yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, that's all the handicap you
That's
really
it.
need.
I'm out.
Yeah, no, I get it. 13 losses in a row. I mean, that's awful. Like, Garrett Crochet has been decent. I do think he's their best pitcher for the White Sox. But even still, they just can't catch a break. And even last night, when they were up for most of the game, they just find new ways to lose this game. Their bullpen is trash. And the Red Sox, they actually play really good on the road. It's just not a good spot for them. I can't believe we're getting this close of odds. I made the Red Sox a -140 favorite. I got to take the Red Sox here. I got to.
Good, because I would alert the authorities to freeze your bank account if you tried putting any money on the Chicago White Sox. 8:15 Eastern. First pitch is the Colorado Rockies at the St. Louis Cardinals. Austin Gomber, left-handed pitcher for Colorado. And for St. Louis, it is Lance Lynn, who are -188 favourites. Colorado +156. Total 7.5, Dylan.
Yeah, talk about a team that just continues to blow leads. We talked about it earlier in the show, the Colorado Rockies, man. I can't believe they lost on Wednesday to the Reds. I mean, I'm not complaining because I was on the Reds, but it was definitely the wrong side. Giving up 5-6 runs in the last inning. They have the worst bullpen in the league. They can't play on the road. And, we've talked about it this whole season. We're not high on the Cardinals either, but at least they're scoring runs and they're competitive in some of these games. And, after a good month of May for Austin Gomber, kind of looks like he went back to his old ways in his last start against the Dodgers. I'll give him a pass because it's the Dodgers, but I do think we could see some runs in this game. I made my total 8.4. Both teams have been able to score some runs despite losing. So at an 8 or lower, I like the over. And as for a side, I made the Cardinals a -170 favorite.
Right. Well, I've taken the under here. So that's a bit of a drawback, puts us on opposite sides. I think the Cardinals will win. I think the Cardinals will probably edge it, but -188 isn't good. But Austin Gomber's been really good lately. 152 ERA in his last 5. 4 of those on the road, so he's got no problem being away from Coors. And Lance Lynn's only given up 1 earned in his last 3. And I think he'll go fine here at all. So I think the Cards will edge it. But I think it could be low scoring, so I'll take the under 7.5. Is this the penultimate game already? I tell you what, have I missed some games out?
Yeah, we missed 3. There's Houston, Toronto, and Arizona. We got 3 games left.
Oh, I missed that one. I was going to say it's not the penultimate game. Okay, so this is a 9:38 Eastern first pitch. Then it is the Houston Astros at the Los Angeles Angels. As Wags joins us. Wags, how you doing? If you've got any picks, throw them out in the chat. We might need some help, Wags. Framber Valdez, left-handed pitcher, goes for Houston. Griffin Canning goes for the Angels. -196 Houston, +168 LA, with a total of 8.5. Framber Valdez, 4-3 record, 3.95 ERA. Mainly reliable, I would say, Framber. In fact, his only bad start was against the Angels. Last time he faced them, 10 hits, 8 earned runs through 5 innings pitched. They got to win with 3 homers in that game, the Angels, last month. But I think he'll adjust. He'll do what he has to do, and I think he'll be fine here. Griffin Canning, I'm pleased to report, has been a little bit better lately. His record's still not stellar, 2-5 with a 4.69 ERA, but 2.22 in his last 5. And I think he can keep going. He can keep showing that improvement. Neither offense is impressing me. I watched Houston last night against the Cardinals, and they're struggling along. Singleton, what's his name? John Singleton. I feel like I'm bullying him a little bit because I mentioned him a couple of times. But he does look quite shit, would be my scientific appraisal of Singleton. And they're just struggling. I mean, they got back into the game with 2 solo homers on back-to-back pitches, actually. It was Yainer Diaz. and I can't remember someone after that hit one. And other than that, they never looked like stringing together enough hits to get competitive with St. Louis. It was the bleeding Lizard King as well. It was Miles Mikolas who stood there. So I was getting agitated last night watching that. So yeah, low scoring, this one. But I'm going to take the first 5 under. Just bullpens are a little bit wobbly. So I'll take a bit of a pitch as Julia. First 5 under between the Astros and the Angels.
Yeah, getting a plus 160 with the Angels at home, I gotta take it. Give me another home puppy. Angels coming into this series, they just swept the Padres, and now here come the Astros, who are 11-17 on the road straight up. Halos have actually taken 2 or 3 from the Astros back in May in Houston, and Valdez was one of those pitchers who got absolutely shelled, gave up 8 runs on 10 hits. Surprisingly enough, this is his only 3rd start on the road this season, but the Angels, they smash lefties really well, and I just think this is a good spot for them to keep it rolling. Now, do I think the Astros should be the favorite? Yeah, but I only made them a minus 135 favorite. So to get 25 more cents, I think there's a ton of value here with the Angels here at home. So I'll take a stab here with the home puppy again.
Yeah, okay. That's not a bad move at all, Dylan. There's not too many dogs on the card that I was happy about backing. And yeah, the Angels have got to be like, Houston have been so disappointing this season. And every time you think they're going to go on a little run, they just don't seem to be able to sort of put 3 wins together. So yeah, we'll see how this one pans out. This is the penultimate game on the shorter handicap. It is a 9:40 Eastern first pitch between the Arizona Diamondbacks and the San Diego Padres. Brandon Pfaadt goes for the D-backs. Michael King for the Padres. Close on the books, even money, Arizona. Minus 118 for the Friars with a total of 7.5, Dylan.
Yeah, Padres, like I just mentioned, they just got swept, not playing really well right now. Now coming home where they don't play well either. They actually play worse at home than they do on the road, surprisingly enough. And I'm not a fan of Michael King either. At home, he's 0-2 with over a 5 ERA. And with the Snakes, though they've won 4 of their last 5 games. And Brandon Pfaadt has not been terrible at home. I just saw him pitch against the Mets on Sunday. He's actually been able to give the D-backs some good length. Strikeouts are high. Now, he'll give up a few runs, but, they usually give Brandon Pfaadt some run support. I'd rather back the Snakes here on the road. I only made the Padres a minus 130 favorite. So it's a wait and see for me, but my heart wants to take the Snakes.
Mate, we've got the exact same handicap here with the exact same concerns about Pfaadt giving up a few runs. Because he has given up 4 in each of his last 2. Get consistent length out of him, minimum 6, so you could get an out prop, although the books might be wise to it. And King has been good lately, 1 earned run in each of his last 2, and generally reliable. But that Padres home record is poor, 13-19. They've lost 4 in a row, and I think the Diamondbacks are absolutely live. So yeah, same handicap, same concerns, and I made the same pick. Team ride on the Snakes at even money. Last game on the card is the Toronto Blue Jays at the Oakland Athletics. Chris Bassett goes for the Blue Jays. I am just seeing right now that Hogan Harris, left-handed pitcher, is going for Oakland. I had Aaron Brooks handicapped. So that's thrown me into a bit of chaos. Minus 134 Toronto, plus 114 for Oakland. I haven't seen a total on this one. Obviously, pitching changes going on. Dylan, you have much on this?
I see a total of 7.5. I had Hogan Harris. No real play. I lean over. I made my total a solid 8. Just the way Hogan Harris has looked in his 3 starts, you got to think we'll see some runs in this game. Every game he started, the total has flown over the total. We've seen shootouts in all 3 games. And Bassett hasn't looked the best on the road either. I think both pitchers are susceptible to give up some runs here tomorrow. We got 10-mile-an-hour winds blowing out into center field tomorrow night as well. And we all know how much the ball loves to travel during night games in Oakland. So the over 5-1 in the Blue Jays' last 6 games. They're playing in a lot of high-scoring games. The bats have kind of woken up for them. So hoping they could go take this on the road and keep it rolling. So I'm going to take the over 7.5. I just think the total's really low.
Is this line still minus 134 for Toronto?
No, I was curious where you got that line. So the Blue Jays are minus.
Told me that line. That's where I got it from.
I'm sorry, it changed. Minus 126. It changed. We've been on for 40 minutes. Minus 126 for the Blue Jays, plus 115 for the Athletics, over under 7.5.
You sit there and say, I don't know where you got those lines, when not 42 minutes ago, you gave me those lines. You madman. Yeah, I don't know what to do with this at all. Over 7.5, maybe. Bassett's fine too. I mean, I had the Blue Jays before with Brooks going, but you can't back them at this short price now. Bassett 4-1, 248 in his last 5. Brooks, it's got nothing to do with Brooks. Hogan Harris hasn't been terrible. He got three and a third scoreless against Houston. That wasn't the start, actually. The only game he has started, he only gave up 1 earned run through 5 2/3 against Tampa. So, yeah, I'm kind of quite relieved I don't have to make a pick on this because it's pretty tricky. And the fact that the pitching changes has blindsided me a little bit. I can give that a no bet from me. The very rarely seen no bet. As we are joined by Randy. Randy, evening. How you doing? Randy's joined for the Lock and Dog. Clearly a very shrewd man. Dylan, lead us off with your best pick and your underdog of the day, please.
All right. I gave out a lot of home puppies today.
You did give out a lot of home puppies, mate.
But the one I really like, and I just can't get away from it, I'm going to go to that 6:40 Eastern start. One of the Apple TV games, Twins at Pirates. I got to back Mitch Keller. I just love the way he's been pitching recently. I think he's really good right now. And at home, I don't think they deserve to be the underdog. Buccos, they've been playing really good. They've been giving them good length as well, Mitch Keller. So Twins, kind of an up and down team. Joe Ryan's okay. I think Mitch Keller's a better pitcher. So I'm going to take the Pirates as my dog at plus 108 or 106. Yeah, no, 108. And for my lock, oh man, what am I gonna do here? It kills me to say this, but as a New York Met fan, let me go take the Yankees here on the money line. I just can't get in front of the train right now. I like Yamomoto, but he does struggle a little more on the road. And Cody Poteet, he's looked pretty good in his first few starts. I just can't get away from how good this Yankees offense has been. 6.8 runs they're averaging in the past 6 games at home. Very hitter-friendly ballpark. I love the team total. I think we see a lot of runs tomorrow. I agree on the over that you hit on the 9. So I think they make it 8 in a row. So give me the Yankees as my lock.
Okay, like that, Dylan. My lock is a total, and it's a total that the books have far too high. It's 9.5. I'm going to take the under between the Seattle Mariners and the Kansas City Royals. Miller, Lynch, 2 low-scoring teams. They both played low-scoring games today. Yeah, I don't know why that's 9.5. I'm surprised it is. Happy to take the under. And my dog, little home puppy Dylan, loads of them kicking around on this card, as you said. I'm going to take Texas with Michael Lorenzen going up against Road Logan Webb. There's not much between the two teams. I do think Texas are a slightly better team, and at the end of the season, will have a better record than the Giants. Lorenzen's been fine, absolutely great, in fact, in his last 4 starts, and Webb wobbly on the road. So plus 106, I think the books have got that wrong. So yeah, Texas is my dog, and the under in Seattle and Kansas City as my lock. And there we go, Dylan. A few little things to point you towards. Busy weekend. Like I say, I'm off to Phillies Mets at the weekend, so I'll try and get amongst it and get on YouTube and do some YouTube shorts and get on Twitter as well and give you the lowdown what's happening in the nation's capital over here. The Belmont Stakes is on Saturday night. Podcast was recorded yesterday with Sean and Ryan and Chase, where we gave out our Belmont picks. So if you want to back the ponies, coming off the back of my 16-1 winner, Dylan, you got me on for the wrong race. You
I
got me on for the
know.
Kentucky Derby when I gave you a load of shit. You then didn't get me on for the Preakness, and I got the 16-1 winner. So that point, it's your fault.
Yeah.
And the Premier League Gambling Podcast with the Euro 2024 previews. The tournament starts next Friday, and we have previewed all the groups so far, outrights to come as well. So go and follow the Premier League Gambling Podcast to get involved in that. Dylan, do you have anything you want to tell the people?
No, it was a good weekend last weekend. 2-0 Real Madrid won. I got the under 2.5 plus money. I got a correct score, 2-0. So it was doing well. Not a football sharp at all, but I just had to have some action there. You're not going to be in Newcastle this weekend, but we got the. Remember, I told you the PFL. They're in Newcastle. Do you know the venue Utilia or?
Yeah, the Utility.
Utility Arena. How far is that from you?
Oh, mate, 10 minutes. A mile and a half.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So the fighters are going to be there tomorrow, so it should be fun.
Yeah, it's a small town, Newcastle. Everything's 10 minutes away. Well, that's good. Get the fighting on the map.
It's also weird, real quick. It's not the Belmont Stakes because they're at Saratoga, right?
Yeah. Belmont's undergoing some reconstruction of the facilities there. So it is the Belmont Stakes, but it's the Belmont Stakes at Saratoga. There's a little tiny tweak in the distance just because of the peculiarities of the Saratoga track. But that's all right. I picked a winner, Dylan. It's 8-1. But I'm not going to tell you what it is. You're going to have to go and find it yourself. Thanks, everybody, in the chat, live and kicking as per usual. The show will run Friday night and Sunday night, as per usual. So yeah, thanks everybody. Dylan, have a great weekend. Are you going to go and get some actual food to eat now?
Oh my God, I'm going to go devour some food in my kitchen. So enjoy.
Good man. I've got a jar of pickled onions with my name on it. So I'll go and get stuck into that. Excellent. Good luck, everyone, with your picks. Back tomorrow. Until then, we will see you down the road. Cheers.